Hey there, I'm Tim,
And I'm Melissa.
and this is another episode of a Granola Soul Kitchen Table Talk. Today we're talking about how to not be afraid of the things that scare you. So there's lots of scary things out there in the world these days, right?
All kinds of scary things. Just
Tons.
Turn on the news.
Turn on the news, right? COVID, that's a big one.
COVID.
Yep, COVID, that's huge.
Crazy people storming the Capitol.
Crazy people storming the Capitol, yeah, that's scary. You know, and you're right, the news doesn't really help with that, right? It kind of makes it a little bit, I don't know, it makes it more scary in some ways.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't watch the news.
Probably not so much, no. But it's not just the news, right? Because it's like there are also things in each of our personal lives that we're all kind of scared of, you know? Like, so, for example, what's some of the stuff you're scared of?
I mean, we worry about our kids and our health. And
Yeah.
I know for me, I worry about work.
Yeah,
and,
it's a big one.
You know, just scared that, or fearful that I might make a mistake on a project.
Yeah, work is huge. Yeah, there's actually a thing called the Sunday Scaries. Have you heard of that?
I've experienced
Yeah,
those.
yeah. It's like when people on Sunday night, they start to get anxious and fearful because they're, really kind of afraid of going to work, But it's not just work. I mean, it can be lots of things. I remember when I was 5 years old, I had a birthday party. And I was so happy. All my friends were there. And we were outside. I was running around barefoot. And I stepped on a bee. Yeah, I know. But on my foot, it swelled up like really big. It was really painful. And I was 5 years old, okay? So, but the thing about it is I didn't go outside the rest of the summer. I mean, I did, but I didn't like to. I didn't want to. And so it's like fear was really holding me back from living my life. And that's kind of what it can do to you, right? I mean, like at work, it does the same thing.
Right. Like, I mean, for instance, you might be afraid to take on more responsibility or go for that promotion because you're afraid that you're not qualified or that you might mess up.
Yeah. So really, no matter what you're talking about, I think we can say that fear holds you back, right? It could be COVID can hold you back. Now, it's not to say that you should just go out and party it up, because there are some really, some real steps that you need to take to be to prevent it, right?
Wear your mask, wash your hands.
Yeah. So we're not saying that, but we're saying that if you let the things that scare you, continue to scare you to the point that you're not living, your normal life, then that's an issue.
Right. Right.
So yeah, but COVID, definitely wear a mask and definitely social distance. But I've always thought that we all have this vested stake in finding a way to get past our fears, right? Or to somehow deal with them. And for me, trust has always been kind of like an antidote to fear.
So trust in what?
Well, that's a good question, right? I mean, I think it starts with trust in God. I think that helps, right?
Yep.
Being able to trust God, for your life. But at the same time, that's kind of tricky because trust in God doesn't mean that, your life is going to be all hunky-dory. No. It's right. Like, I'm going to trust God and nothing bad is ever going to happen to me. That is not how it works. That is not how it's ever worked.
Right.
That is not how it's going to work in your life. I mean, you have to be able to trust in the middle of your uncertainty and knowledge that bad things will happen.
Right. Yeah, I was listening to a podcast by James Finley. He's a psychotherapist, but he's also a former monk and Christian contemplative who studied under Thomas Merton.
That's always good.
And he was describing this concept of bad things, bad things happening to good people, and it's not that bad things won't happen. I mean, clearly we see that even good people, bad things happen. But the trust is that God will sustain you in the midst of those hard things.
Yeah, that's kind of a good way to look at it, right?
Right.
So it's not like bad things aren't going to happen to you. I mean, look, these things that we're afraid of, it's not like they're like the boogeyman. They're real, and they could really happen, right? It's like there are real consequences sometimes. But it's knowing that through them that you're not alone, right?
Right.
And I think it also even goes beyond God to other people.
Absolutely.
Right? Being able to like trust other people to help you through those fears, whatever you're dealing with. I mean, like at work, right? It works there.
Right. Like I've got some great colleagues who are supportive, and if I'm struggling with something, I know I can go to them.
Yeah.
And they've got my back. And I think it's also important to have other kinds of community too. I mean, whether it's your friends or your family or faith community.
Yeah.
These are people that we can trust, and they help sustain us through hard times.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a flip side of it too, right? And that's not only being able to trust other people, but being the kind of person that they can trust to help them get through their fears.
Right.
because that's a big part of this too.
Right. It's definitely got to be give and take. I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
what community is.
Yeah, yeah. And I definitely think that's a big part of it. And sometimes by being there for other people, it helps you address and manage your own fears too. That's a part of it, you know. So anyway, that's how you stop being afraid of scary things, at least quite so much. If you want to dig a little bit deeper, it's part of a featured article that we have this week at granulasoul.com. The article is titled "Trust and the Art of Being Fully Alive." If you go to our website, you can't miss it. It's right there on the homepage. And if you like dogs, there's a pretty cool image of a dog as the featured image for that. So, maybe that's a little added motivation to visit the website this week. Also want to remind you about a Spiritual Almanac. It's our daily podcast and videocast, full of lots of great things for you every day. There's always a piece of inspiration that we take a look at. It's usually a poem or some other writing from someone sometimes well known and sometimes not so well known, as well as some other spiritual nuggets. You can find that on our website and really anywhere you get podcasts, and on YouTube as well. Right here, it's part of our channel. Last thing, and then we'll stop bugging you for today. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. We would really appreciate it if you could help us, help support our channel here and help us get the word out about it. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.